Trump administration steps up ICE raids and mass deportations. One tech developer is pushing back with an app designed to track ICE activity in real time. It's called ICEBLOCK, and it's controversial to say the least. Senator Claire Duffy is with us now. How does this work, Claire, and what are the legal implications?
Yeah, John, I talked with Joshua Aaron, who is the longtime tech worker who developed this platform, and he said he really wants it to be an early warning system for people about the location of immigrations and customs enforcement officers. So he says he does not want people interfering with those officers' activity, but he does want people to be able to avoid them altogether if they want. So you open the app, it looks like a map, and users can tap the map to report an ICE sighting in their area, and then everybody who uses the platform within 5 miles of that sighting will get a push alert. This is a free iPhone app. It is anonymous. Aaron says he doesn't collect any user data. And what I think is really interesting about this in this moment is we've seen so many of the biggest leaders in tech supporting President Trump. But Aaron is sort of an example of the fact that there are people within the tech industry who are really resistant to Trump's policies. I asked him what he would say to those tech leaders who, for example, were at the inauguration. Here's what he told me. Take a listen.
I understand that you have shareholders to report to. I understand that you have employees that need their paychecks. But at what point do you say enough is enough?
And John, I should say that ICE did not respond when I asked them about this platform and about Aaron's opposition to their activity.
Just when you thought CNN could not possibly have reached a new low, well, there you are. As you just saw, that was CNN actively promoting, in effect, violence against American ICE agents. While American ICE agents face a 500% surge in violent attacks, CNN just gave primetime coverage to an app designed basically to hunt them down like prey. Now, the way they try to skirt around that is to say, oh, no. It's not to get involved with it. It's not to in any way, shape, or form get in the way of ICE. It's so that illegal, undocumented, those who are legally challenged, so that they can avoid ICE agents. But of course, there's a flip side to that. You know that. And that's alerting nefarious actors as to where ICE agents are, and thus putting those agents in harm's way. This isn't about interfering with ICE. I think it doesn't matter what it's about. It's a matter of what it can be used for. I mean, this obviously isn't journalism. What you just saw there was left-wing activism at its worst. It's warfare against the men and women protecting our communities from dangerous criminals. And what's happening right now should terrify every law-abiding American who believes in the rule of law. And wait until you see what Tom Homan, the border czar, had to say about this. It is going to it's going to make your night. You're going to love it. Greetings, everyone. Come on in. It's live stream Monday night. Great to have you all here. Yeah, I know my blood is freaking boiling as well after I saw that. But the good news is that now that CNN is completely taken off the mask, everyone can now see who they really are. They really are nothing more. We'll talk about it more as we go along, but they are nothing more than advocacy journalists. Advocacy journalists. They are extensions of more or less a Democrat super PAC. Now, as we do every Monday night, we're going to move our lively discussion of all things culture and politics over to our exclusive censorship-free virtual platform. There's so much to talk about. So if you want to join us over at our exclusive virtual platform for some sweet fellowship and some awesome scholarly discussion, just scan that QR code, or you could click on the link below. And for a very small monthly fee, we love your super chats. Your super chats are so sweet. Those of you who give us super chats, thank you so much. But guess what? So does YouTube. YouTube loves those super chats as well. And they take a hefty chunk from there. So instead of giving us the super chat, just click on the link below, or you can scan that beautiful QR code And for a very small monthly fee, you can have access to our exclusive Q&As, exclusive content, exclusive conversations and meetups. You get access to all of our exclusive offers. You can ask me as many questions as you want with just that one-time fee. So click the link in the description below or scan that QR code to become a member of the Courageous Patriots Club, where thousands of us gather each and every week to restore the pillars of faith, family, and freedom as we usher in a new conservative age. We will head on over there in mere moments. But let's start with the facts. As you just saw today, CNN ripped the mask off, ironically, and gave the most glowing coverage imaginable to something called ICEBLOCK, which is an iPhone app created by this radical liberal activist named Joshua Aaron that tracks the real-time locations of ICE agents and alerts users within a 5-mile radius whenever our immigration officers are spotted. The app already has over 20,000 users. And by the way, I'm just saying, if you download the app and then just give a bunch of hoax locations, I'm just saying, theoretically, that would probably pollute the app to obsolescence. But regardless, it has 20,000 users, predominantly in sanctuary cities like Los Angeles. Now, think about that for a moment. We're talking about an app specifically designed to help people, including dangerous criminals, not just avoid federal law enforcement, but track them. Not just avoid federal law enforcement, but track. This isn't meant to interfere with law enforcement. We don't care what you meant it for. What matters is what it can be used for. CNN's Claire Duffy, one of the ditziest morons I think I've ever had the misfortune of having to sit through, described it as immigrants pushing back against the Trump administration. They're pushing back against law enforcement. While the app's creator reportedly referred to ICE operatives as Nazis. Now, here's what CNN did not tell you. As I noted earlier, ICE agents are currently facing a 500% increase in violent assaults. That's not a typo. 500% increase. Now, just this week, an ICE officer was dragged 50 yards by a car while arresting an illegal alien sex offender. These aren't abstract statistics. These are real attacks on real Americans doing their jobs to keep criminals off our streets. And needless to say, border czar Tom Homan, who would have been a Viking skull crusher if he was alive in the 12th century, he did not mince words in response.
It's the line here. This is out of control.
I know it's just simply disgusting, and any network that covers that is disgusting as well. So I'm hoping DOJ steps in there and see if they cross that line of impeding federal law enforcement officers. Look, Lawrence, you and I talk about this. Assaults against ICE is up over 500%. Now you got an app that's going to tell where ICE operations are going to be. It's only a matter of time before ICE agents are ambushed by some nut, like what happened in L.A., throwing a Molotov cocktail, throwing bricks at these officers. This is just disgusting at every level. So I hope DOJ dives in this deeply, because ICE is concentrating on public safety threats and national security threats. This shouldn't be a partisan issue. This shouldn't be an issue anybody is against. So they're already a dangerous job going after the worst of the worst. These guys are putting their lives on the line every day going after the worst of the worst international security threats. And this app makes it that much more dangerous. It's incredible that those who enforce law, all of a sudden they're the bad guys. The ones who break the law, they're victims. It's disgusting.
Why would CNN promote this? Why would they do a story on this?
I can't figure it out. I've been doing this for 4 decades. I've never seen anything like this in my life. It's got to be they hate Trump more than they love law enforcement. Or I can't figure it out.
That's
but
it.
Something needs to be done. I mean, you advertise this guy's app on a national TV network. That's just going to bring more followers, sick followers, to the app and use it. Again, letting the bad guy know ICE is coming. They're here. Here's where they're going next. This is dangerous for the men and women in law enforcement.
So true, Tom. I want to get you.
There's one flaw in Tom Homan's argument, and he's assuming people are watching CNN. CNN reporting this app, and he said now more and more people are going to go and download it. Yeah, but that's only assuming more and more people are watching CNN. It's the one little flaw in his argument, and I think he's right. I'm hoping Pam Bondi, Justice Department, cybersecurity come in and neutralize this app ASAP as they ought. But I think he nailed it right there. They hate Trump more than they love law enforcement. That's CNN in a nutshell. That basically sums it up. They hate Trump more than they love law enforcement. Now, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt also had a thing or two to say about this today. Check it out.
Thanks, Caroline. I just watched a CNN segment on a new app called ICEBLOCK, and it kind of appeared to be promoting this app where you can tell people where ICE agents are. Given the recent rise...
An app that tells people where ICE agents are?
Yes. And given the rise, I believe 500% increase in assaults on ICE agents, I wanted to see if you could comment on that and why CNN would be promoting such an app.
Well, it's a very good question. I'll have to go back and watch the clip myself, but surely it sounds like this would be an incitement of further violence against our ICE officers. As you know, as you stated, there's been a 500% increase in violence against ICE agents, law enforcement officers across the country who are just simply trying to do their jobs and remove public safety threats from our communities. And that's something we as Americans, including journalists at CNN who live in many of these cities where illegal aliens are hiding and were let in from the previous administration, should be very grateful for. So we haven't seen the clip. We'll take a look at it, but certainly it's unacceptable that a major network would promote such an app that is encouraging violence against law enforcement officers who are trying to keep our country safe.
Caroline,
Shelby.
James P. nailed it. Someone needs to create an app to track CNN reporters. I love it. Yeah, let's see let's see how they like it, right? I mean, as you can see by the reactions here, they stretch from utter incredulity. How could anyone do this to, absolute outrage? How can any respectable profession, let alone the press, openly advocate for something so nefarious as an app that allows criminals to evade arrest? Just let that hit you. This is what's taking what's called advocacy journalism to a whole new level of absurd nefariousness. Advocacy journalism is when reporters and journalists exploit their profession to push blatantly partisan policies and positions. So journalists today are more akin to a Democrat super PAC than they are a newsroom. Their so-called news coverage is little more than campaign ads for the Democrats, or in this case, something used to inform their illegal migrant constituents how they can avoid law enforcement. I mean, again, it's beyond absurd. Now, the good news is that the whole reason why we have this app in the first place is precisely because ICE is absolutely crushing it. Arrests of illegal alien criminals. Get this. Arrests of illegal alien criminals are up in every single state under Trump. All 50 states, even the bluest of blue states, most especially the bluest of blue states, the so-called sanctuary states. Immigration arrests have risen absolutely sharply across the country, more than doubling in 38 states since President Trump took office. According to newly released data reviewed by the New York Times, we have simply never seen a mass deportation program this successful, this quickly, this amazingly in our lifetimes. Enforcement activity has surged even further in recent weeks following a directive from Trump's top immigration advisor, Stephen Miller, the great Stephen Miller, urging agents to intensify efforts to increase arrests. So Trump's massive deportation efforts, they are frankly gutting the Democrats of their future constituency. And I think that goes a long way to explaining CNN's complicity in this. CNN recognizes that with every single deportation, they just lost a potential Democrat voter. They know that. They know liberal Democrats aren't having kids anymore. They know states like California, New York, Illinois are shrinking as we speak. They know if Trump is successful at passing that bill, that upcoming bill, to have only citizens counted in the census by law, they know they're shot. They know they're going to lose 20 seats automatically in Congress. They know they're going to lose dozens of electoral votes automatically. They know they're shot. Without illegal migrants, they've got literally nothing. And so the Democrats are CNN's constituency. So what else are they going to do? They're going to root for him openly. Now, I want to get real with you here for a moment. I thought about this a little bit. Let's leave aside all the social theory and, the advocacy journalism and all that sort of stuff. Let's leave aside any kind of psychology theory that could explain CNN's pathological insanity. I want you to remember something really important. I want all of it. I'm going to preach to myself. I want all of us to remember something really important. Every ICE agent who puts on their vest tomorrow morning knows they might not come home that day. They know that radical activists are tracking their movements. They know that their names might be published online. Their family might be published online. They know that major media outlets like CNN are working to help criminals evade them. And yet they still show up to work every single day because they believe in protecting American lives and families. These are the true American heroes that CNN is not even worthy of tying their shoes. They're not fighting foreign enemies in distant battlefields. They're fighting to remove convicted murderers, rapists, and gang members from our neighborhoods. Not the anchors of CNN's neighborhoods. They're in gated communities. Our neighborhoods. They're doing the dangerous work that keeps our communities safe while facing unprecedented attacks from the very institutions that should be supporting them. The ICEBLOCK controversy is not really about an app. And you all know that. It's about whether America will stand with those who protect us or those who want to help criminals evade justice. These trust fund socialists, these limousine liberals who lecture us about social justice. CNN made their choice when they gave primetime coverage to technology designed to hunt down federal agents. Democratic politicians made their choice when they started doxing ICE agents. Tech activists made their choice when they compared American law enforcement to Nazi Germany. Now it's time for true Americans, ordinary Americans, to make their choice. Support the men and women who risk everything to keep us safe. Demand accountability from media outlets that endanger federal agents. Vote for leaders who prioritize public safety over public or political correctness. If we do that, then this 80-20 issue, which is what it is, that'll easily turn into a 99-1 issue. And we can finally fully realize the promise of November 5th, not just for ourselves, but for generations of Americans to come. Over to you. I've talked enough. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear your questions. I want to hear your comments. Mike, I don't know if we have any super chats or if we've got any questions that you want to feature before we go on over to our virtual platform. Go on over to one. I'm having a hard time chatting here. Tiger section, the DOJ study whether 18 U.S.C. section 2339B, which criminalizes providing material support to terrorist organizations, applies to press outlets which knowingly rely on absurd allegations made by operatives of terrorist organizations to advance their nefarious interests. Your thoughts, Dr. C? Yeah, I mean, I love the way you're playing. It's like, it's all bets are off. You're removing the gloves here. This is brass knuckle politics, and I think you do. I think we need to play that right now. I mean, what CNN just did today was, it was beyond the pale. That was the lowest of the low. I mean, trying to present an app that enables violent illegal migrants to evade law enforcement, as if that was, well, that's just a way of pushing back against law enforcement. Again, Tom Homan is just like, when did the criminals become the victims? And when did cops become the criminals? I mean, but that's the cultural Marxist mentality that's infested the political class, the cosmopolitan class, again, the trust fund socialists. And I just think in the end that it's going to come back to Biden big time, because who gets hurt in the end? The working class, both white and non-white working class. The working class neighborhoods are the ones that have to deal with this infestation of criminality. So I love it. I love the way you're thinking, Tiger 6. Absolutely. Why don't we do one more, Micah? You got one more? And then we'll move on to our platform. Yeah, me vida loca. My crazy life. Am I right? There are literally millions of gun owners watching the big, beautiful bill on the Hearing Protection Act, silencers, and the Short Barrel Act. Is there a chance that J.D. Vance will override the I'm assuming it's going to be the parliamentarian. But yes. Or if not override the parliamentarian, then they just put because anybody can put amendments on. You can put as many amendments on as you can. You just have to be able to vote for them. And so, generally speaking, I mean, say what you want about Mitch McConnell, and boy, is there plenty to say, and every bit of it is true. But this guy knew how to get a bill through. He knew how, I mean, his prestidigitation, his virtuosity with parliamentarian rules were unbelievable. I'm sorry, John Thune cannot compare. So we'll see. It looks like what we're starting to see, Marsha Blackburn has already presented a new amendment to get the illegals off of Medicaid. And I'm sure there's going to be something, because the Republicans are overwhelmingly, pro-gun, I mean, you even have Democrats that are pro-gun. This goes beyond partisanship. So yeah, they'll pull it off. I have a feeling they'll pull it off, but it's going to be through amendments. So they got rid of it because of the language, and they find some other language. The parliamentarian, through their proceduralism, will say, "Yep, that's okay, no problem." But if worse comes to worse, yeah, JD can come in just like he did on Saturday night. Yeah, JD can come on in and show him who's boss. All right, with that, gang, remember, just make sure to click on that link below, or you can scan that QR code, wherever that beautiful QR code is, and you can join. There it is, and you can join our Courageous Patriots Club, and then ask me any question you want. You can make the comments. You can fellowship with thousands upon thousands of patriots all over the world celebrating faith, family, and freedom. You'll absolutely love it. Do yourself a favor. Do it somebody give it to them as a gift. They'll absolutely love you for it. So click on that link below. Go to fight.turleytalks.com/Monday-QA, and I'll see you over there in just a moment. God bless.